Bonjour from Quebec City in Canada. So I'm standing in front of the monument that commemorates the time in 1985 when the city of Quebec was inscribed in the UNESCO list of World Heritage Sites. And that's for a couple reasons. First of all, Quebec is the cradle of French civilization in North America. It's been a capital under the French, under the British, and under the Canadians. And it's still the heart of the French-speaking world in North America. Behind me is the fabulous hotel Chateau Frontenac, which has always been a hotel. Believe it or not, Quebec was once a city that rivaled Boston and New York as an important hub and destination in this part of the world. People would come from all over to stay in this hotel and then head west on the train system. This city retains its historic walls and its historic architecture, and it's a truly marvelous city. It feels like I have stepped into Europe, and some of the sites around here are definitely worth checking out.
I'm inside the Museum of Civilization in the city of Quebec when a man named Champlain was given the go-ahead to create a settlement along the St. Lawrence River. He chose the location of Quebec. Quebec is a First Nations word that means narrows, and this is where the St. Lawrence River narrows after being quite wide. So it was an ideal place to build a trading hub. This model gives you an idea of what Quebec looked like in its earliest days.
I'm in front of the St. Lawrence River. Like most cities around the world, Quebec was founded along a river. But unlike most cities in North America, Quebec is special for one reason. It's the only North American city that is still walled. Quebec was built with ramparts and a citadel, and you could still visit those sites today on this beautiful city along the St. Lawrence River. Here I am on the Plains of Abraham, which, fun fact, is Canada's first national historical park. And behind me you can see another one of the towers built after the American Revolution. The Plains of Abraham were the site of the Siege of Quebec in 1759. It would ultimately end with a British victory over the French. That was part of the 7 Years' War, one of the results of which would be the transfer of New France to Britain. That would be the beginning of British control over all of what is today Canada. This tower and others like it were built around the Plains of Abraham, around the Quebec citadel after the American Revolution. The British authorities were worried that the emboldened Americans would attempt to annex Upper and Lower Canada. Now, these towers wouldn't really ever be used to defend against the Americans, but they would be ready in time for the War of 1812, though, again, they would never see any actual combat. You know you're not in America when that little teeny sign is the only thing preventing you from standing out on that ledge over a 30-foot drop. one more stop before we leave Quebec. We're actually about 20 miles north of Quebec City in Jacques Cartier National Park. It was in mountains like this that Jacques Cartier and other French explorers were first finding the resources of Canada. Jacques Cartier found what he thought were gold and diamonds. It turned out to be nothing but pyrite and quartz. And there's still a phrase, as fake as a Canadian diamond. But what he did discover out here was animals. This is a very wintry environment, of course. Animals have big, luxurious pelts. Fur trapping became the mainstay of the economy here for the early French colonists. And today it's just a great place to go for a snow hike.